Important questions Class 10 Science Chapter, Chemical Reactions and Equations. Question. Why are food particles preferably packed in aluminum foil? Answer. Food particles are mostly packed in an aluminum foil sheet because it does not corrode in the atmosphere. A protective coating of aluminum oxide, Al2O3, is formed on the surface of the foil, and it stops any further chemical reaction of the metal with air and water so that even if it is kept for a longer time, food particles do not get spoiled. Question. Write balanced chemical equations for the following chemical reactions. A. Hydrogen plus chlorine hydrogen chloride. B. Lead plus copper chloride lead chloride plus copper. C. Zinc oxide plus carbon zinc plus carbon monoxide. Answer. 1. H2 plus Cl2 to HCl. 2. Pb plus CuCl to PbCl2 plus Cu. 3. ZnO plus CZn plus Co. Question. 2 grams of ferrous sulfate crystals are heated in a dry boiling tube. 1. Explain 2 observations. 2. Name the type of chemical reaction taking place. Answer. 1. If ferrous sulfate crystals, FeSO4.7H2O, lose water when heated and the color of the crystals is modified, then it decomposes to ferric oxide, Fe2O3, SO2, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide, SO3, with an odor of burning sulfur. 2. This is a thermal decomposition reaction. Question. Recognize a metal for each case. I. It does not interact with cold as well as hot water but reacts with any additional physical state of water. 2. It does not interact with any physical state of water. Answer. 1. Aluminium, Al. 2. Copper, Cu. Explanations. 1. Aluminium oxide is created on the surface of the metal. Still, the reaction does not go further as the oxide formed isn't porous, so water won't be able to penetrate through the metal to continue the reaction any further. 2. Copper does not react with water because they lie below hydrogen in the reactivity series. The conclusion is that they cannot replace hydrogen in water molecules. Question. Why do we store silver chloride in dark-colored bottles? Answer. Silver chloride is the best example of a light-sensitive chemical compound, and reaction is an example of a photolytic decomposition reaction. It reacts with light very fast and loses its property by forming chlorine gas and silver. So avoid this silver chloride in dark-colored bottles. Explanations. 2AgCl to Ag plus Cl2. Silver chloride decomposes into silver and chlorine gas when exposed to light. Dark-colored bottles interrupt the path of light such that light cannot reach silver chloride in the bottles, and its decomposition is prevented. Question. Translate a balanced chemical equation with state symbols for the following reactions. 1. Solutions of barium chloride and sodium sulfate in water react to give insoluble barium sulfate and a solution of sodium chloride. 2. Sodium hydroxide solution in water interacts with hydrochloric acid to produce sodium chloride solution and water. 3. Hydrogen gas combines with nitrogen to form ammonia. 4. Potassium metal reacts with water to give potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Answer. Solution. 1. BaCl2 plus Na2SO4 BaSO4 plus 2NaCl2. NaOH plus HCl NaCl plus H2O3. 3H2 plus N2 and H3 4. 2K plus 2H2O 2KOH plus H2. Question: what is a balanced chemical equation? Why should chemical equations be balanced? Answer: a chemical equation represents a chemical reaction. The presentation of a chemical reaction, in which the number of atoms of each element is equal on the reactant and product sides, is known as a balanced chemical equation. Chemical reactions should be balanced because only a balanced equation explains the relative quantities of different reactants and products involved in the reaction. Question: why is respiration considered an exothermic reaction? Explain. Answer: respiration is the process of burning food in the living body to produce energy. Respiration is considered an exothermic chemical reaction because glucose oxidation occurs in the respiration process, which creates a large amount of heat energy consumed in the form of ATP. During respiration, we inhale oxygen from the atmosphere, which reacts with glucose in our body cells to produce carbon dioxide and water. It is explained in the following chemical equation. C6H12O6 plus 6O26CO2 plus H2O plus energy, ATP. Question: why does the color of copper sulfate solution change when an iron nail is dipped in it? Answer: the color of the copper sulfate solution changes when an iron nail is dipped in it because of the displacement of copper from the copper sulfate solution and the formation of iron sulfate solution. The brown deposit is of copper. Iron displaces Cu from copper sulfate solution as iron is more reactive than copper. Therefore, this is a displacement reaction. Question: why are decomposition reactions called the opposite of combination reactions? Write equations for decomposition reactions. Answer: a combination reaction is said to be the reaction between two or more molecules to form a larger molecule. A decomposition reaction is defined as splitting large molecules into two or smaller molecules. It explains that the decomposition reaction is the opposite of the combination reaction. In most cases, the decomposition reaction is endothermic since the heat from the surrounding or induced heat is used to diffuse the bonds of the larger molecule. Some examples of decomposition reactions are ZnCO3ZnO plus CO2. Question: what is the difference between displacement and double displacement reactions? Write relevant equations for the above. Answer: a displacement reaction occurs when a more reactive substance replaces a less reactive substance from its salt solutions. A double displacement reaction occurs when a mutual exchange of metal ions happens between two compounds. In this displacement reaction, only a single displacement occurs, whereas in the double displacement reaction, as the name suggests, two displacements occur between the molecules. Example: displacement reaction. Mg plus 2HCl MgCl2 plus H2. Double displacement reaction. 2KBr plus BaI2 2Ki plus BaBr2. Question: why do we apply paint on iron articles? Answer: iron articles are painted to prevent them from rusting. If left unpainted, the metal surface comes in contact with the atmospheric oxygen and, in the presence of moisture, it forms FeO, iron 3 oxide. Therefore, if painted, the surface does not come in contact with moisture and air, thus preventing rusting. Question: explain the following topics with one example each. A. Corrosion. B. Rancidity. Answer: A. Corrosion is a slow process where a refined metal atom is oxidized by atmospheric oxygen to create a more stable compound, like oxides. The metal atom gradually degrades during the corrosion process. Rusting of iron is an important example of corrosion where the iron is converted to iron oxide. Millions of pounds are spent annually to prevent bridges and other monuments from rusting. B. Rancidity, the condition produced by the aerial oxidation of the oil and fat in the food material, has an unpleasant taste and odor. The rancidity is retarded if the food is kept inside the refrigerator, since the low temperature does not promote the oxidation reaction. Question: explain the following in terms of the gain of oxygen with 2 examples each. A. Oxidation. B. Reduction. Answer. A. In a chemical reaction, when oxygen is added to the element to form its respective oxide, it is the element being oxidized. For example, B. In a chemical reaction, it is said to be reduced when oxygen is removed from the compound. Question: a shiny brown-colored element X on heating in the air becomes black. Name the element X and the black-colored compound formed. Answer: the shiny brown-colored element is copper metal, Cu. If the metal is heated in air, it interacts with atmospheric oxygen to form copper oxide. Therefore, the black colored compound is copper oxide. To Cu plus O2 to CuO.